The Master's Mysteries, Tales of Magical Mastery, Episode 61. What? Nine-headed giant serpent. Lower your voice. In the small tavern down the mountain, as Liu Fengyi listened to Sanche's account, he was so shocked that he almost sprayed out the wine he had just drunk. So you're saying your brother was eaten by that nine-headed serpent? Then how can we save him? Xiao Dai is right. If he was really swallowed by that nine-headed serpent, by now he might have turned into snake feces. That nine-headed giant serpent is truly terrifying. My brother, they. At the mention of their two brothers, Sanche choked up and started crying. It was really heart-wrenching to see them so emotional. Their bond as brothers was deep, and even at this moment, they were unwilling to give up hope of saving their brother. What? Eaten? Who said they were eaten? You're the ones who were eaten. However, the slight sympathy that Liu Fengyi and the others had just felt for them was instantly shattered by Sancho's words. They haven't been eaten. Why so much fuss then? Don't worry. Let me continue to tell you. Although they weren't eaten by that creature, we encountered something even more terrifying. Let's go back and continue the story. When the Liaodong Sanche saw that the nine-headed serpent had eaten 3 of the concealed treasure-hunting travelers, they were so scared that their souls were about to flee. They realized that if they didn't run now, they might be the next ones to be eaten. The 3 of them desperately fled downhill. Perhaps the nine-headed serpent didn't want to stray too far from the swamp, so these 3 people actually managed to escape successfully. However, in their panicked state, they took the wrong direction and ended up not going down the mountain. Instead, they ran in a big circle through the forest and ended up on the other side of this large swamp. Because they were so terrified, they ran without paying attention to the ground. Soon, the eldest and second eldest, who were leading the way, stumbled and fell into a patch of mud. The 3 of them instantly realized their situation. They were dumbfounded. The reason this place is called a swamp is because it's full of mud underneath, and it's treacherous. Big brother, second brother, I'll save you. Both brothers had sunk into the mud, leaving the third brother in a difficult situation. He knew that if he went up there, he would also get stuck, but he still wanted to reach out and help his brothers. Third brother, get away. It's too dangerous. Third brother, don't come closer. The bond between these 3 brothers was indeed strong, but the sinking was happening too fast. The eldest and second eldest didn't want the third brother to get involved, so they hurriedly stopped him. Big brother, second brother, take care of second Niang. I've given you big brother's secret stash of money. Helplessly watching his 2 brothers sink into the mud while being unable to do anything, the third brother's tears started flowing uncontrollably. Big brother, second brother. The 2 brothers were quickly swallowed by the swamp, but the third brother was determined. No matter what, he had to find someone to pull the 2 brothers out. Please, I beg you, save my big brother and second brother. But these 3 brothers had poor connections and no friends to turn to. They were wondering who could help them when they unexpectedly encountered Liu Fengyi and the others as soon as they descended the mountain. This led the third brother to muster the courage to plead for help. Brother, don't blame me for interrupting. To put it this way, your 2 brothers have most likely already died, so there's no need to try to save them. No, they won't die. Before Black Fox could finish his words, he was abruptly shouted down by the third brother. The expression my second brother had just before sinking into the mud. He seemed to have discovered something beneath him, and the gesture he made was a plea for help from me. His analysis was based on the expressions and gestures of the eldest and second eldest. The 3 brothers had grown up together and had a strong sense of understanding, but this reasoning seemed a bit strained. Since there's still a glimmer of hope, why don't we give it a try? Xiao Dai's heart softened, and upon hearing this, she spoke up first. She genuinely hoped that everyone could help Liaodong Sanche. I'm begging you. Before you go, let me tell you about the nine-headed serpent. However, just as she and Liu Fengyi were about to stand up, Black Fox chimed in. That creature is in Changbai Mountain. It's an extremely terrifying existence. As someone who came from Changbai Mountain's immortal realm, he had some knowledge of the nine-headed serpent in the swamp at the foot of Changbai Mountain. So, he briefly introduced it to everyone. While practicing on Changbai Mountain, there are occasional interactions between various immortal realms. Some even have good relationships. However, the nine-headed serpent never interacts with anyone. Because of this lack of understanding, various immortal realms maintain an observing attitude toward the nine-headed serpent. Among all the animals that cultivate immortality, they fear tribulation the most. Most immortal cultivators would choose to avoid or seek external assistance to overcome tribulations, and they definitely wouldn't eat humans, fearing divine retribution. But this nine-headed serpent is the opposite. Not only does it frequently consume humans, but when facing tribulations, it doesn't avoid them. Instead, it seems to challenge them head-on, charging into the heavenly thunder. The tribulations it endures are also the most ferocious, yet this creature always manages to survive. It must be said that its physical body is incredibly robust. It's said that one time, during a particularly fierce Great Fate tribulation, a thunderbolt struck down so violently that the entire Changbai Mountain trembled. The immortal cultivators within the mountain were so frightened that they hid in their caves and dared not come out. After the heavenly thunder passed, the massive swamp was almost scorched to a crisp. The area emitted a foul smell from the mud being baked dry. Everyone thought that the nine-headed serpent was undoubtedly dead, but everyone guessed wrong. This nine-headed serpent, no one knows what kind of species it is, actually crawled out from that scorched earth after a dozen days. It's said that on that night, the entire Changbai Mountain could hear the roaring of its nine heads directed at the sky. It was extremely arrogant, and from then on, this savage beast became a kind of anomaly that nobody dared to approach. So powerful. A monster, this is just too audacious. Black Fox's account left Liu Fengyi and Qiu Dai stunned. Having nine heads was already strange enough, but they didn't expect the creature's personality to be even more rebellious. How about it? Still dare to provoke it? Seeing how surprised the two were, Black Fox asked once again whether they were sure about going. What's there to fear? It's not like it can eat us. Wait, this creature really does eat humans. Darn it, we must get rid of it. Liu Fengyi, still full of youthful vigor, felt that as a practitioner of the Mashan school, there was no reason to fear a demon, especially one that caused harm by devouring humans. Kid, don't forget we are wild immortals. To us, humans are merely a form of sustenance. But when it came to the matter of eating humans, Black Fox, as an immortal, had a different perspective. Many thanks, heroes. All right then, I'll also accompany you on this journey. Surprisingly, Black Fox was also fond of taking on tough challenges. Seeing the two persisting in their decision, and after downing another bowl of wine, he stood up as well. You rascal, just make sure you don't slow me down. Of course, Liu Fengyi was glad to have a strong hand to help. He stepped forward and grabbed Black Fox's shoulder, and the sight of three grown men walking arm in arm and heading out was indeed a bit peculiar. Do you think you can skip the bill by running fast? However, don't think that Qiu Dai couldn't see through their plan with the two of them. But knowing that the two of them didn't have a single penny in their pockets, Qiu Dai settled the bill and followed the group up the mountain. This is it. We're already at the foot of Changbai Mountain. After just half a day's journey, the four of them arrived at the pit where Liadong Sanche's eldest and second eldest had sunk. Oh, my poor big brother and second brother. Stop wailing. We're working on a solution. Be cautious. This is too close to the swamp. Try not to provoke it. Indeed, this pit was unlike a clear pool, making it impossible to observe the situation below. Moreover, it was very close to the massive swamp where the nine-headed serpent resided. To avoid trouble, it would be best not to provoke it. All right, let's begin. While the three of them were still brainstorming, the third brother had already sprung into action. Young hero, it's up to you. Hey, what's this? They saw him quickly tying a hemp rope around Liao Fengyi's waist. Now we can only send someone down to take a look. Don't worry, I'll use the rope to pull you up. It turns out he intended for Liao Fengyi to jump into the pit to investigate the situation, and the hemp rope was meant to pull him back up later. Young hero, you can go with confidence. Go. Why don't you go down instead? In reality, this wasn't a bad idea, but this third brother seemed too unconcerned about himself. What to do then? Fengyi, I've gathered information. Ever since Hu came into action, things have been much easier. Skilled in gathering information, Hu quickly gathered the local creatures and acquired information. Turns out, beneath this treacherous mud pit is a massive underground space, and there are hundreds of such hollowed-out mud pits within this swamp. These mud pits are interconnected, forming an extensive underground space, and they directly link to the large lake where the nine-headed serpent resides. In my view, this is a trap set by the nine-headed serpent for hunting and capturing prey. In this case, these rotten mud pits seem more like traps set by the nine-headed serpent to capture prey. Animals and humans often fall into them, becoming trapped. So, that's it. Young hero, do you have a plan? You're right, someone needs to go down. And the nine-headed serpent can lie in wait. Whenever it's hungry, it can go into that massive underground space to hunt. Realizing this, a smile tugged at the corner of Liao Fengyi's lips. Kid, what do you intend to do? Liao Fengyi. It's said that one must venture into the tiger's den to catch the tiger's cub. Since the other party has set up a trap, the simplest solution is to jump in and save the person. Don't worry, it's empty down here. Ugh, it smells terrible. After Liao Fengyi spoke, Xiao Dai and Black Fox also jumped into the pit. However, despite being prepared, they were still overwhelmed by the foul odor of the mud. Sinking into this muck, their descent was extremely fast, and the mud quickly rose above their heads. Heroes, you'll always live in my heart. Seeing the three individuals so courageously attempting to save his brother, the third member of the Liaodong Sanshe was deeply moved. Yet, before he could finish feeling moved, he found a whip coiling around him. Don't do this. It was a whip thrown by Xiao Dai. I'm better suited for logistical. Now that everyone was down there, who knew if this guy might pull a fast one from above?